My name is Clarissa Levi, and I am an Agronomy and Conservation Programs Coordinator with the Minnesota Agricultural Water Quality Certification Program at the Department of Agriculture. One of the major risks of pesticide runoff is contamination of our surface and groundwater. Another risk for the farmer is, losing the money that they applied to their field. And if you're losing that product off the field, you're also going to have less effective pest control.
My name is Will Bomir. I'm a certification specialist with the Minnesota Ag Water Quality Program, which is run out of the Minnesota Department of Agriculture. We're fortunate in Minnesota, we have a lot of water resources. With that comes the responsibility of protecting those resources. So just making sure that those are getting applied so that they're doing what they're supposed to do and not having off-site unintended consequences.
I'm Dave Legvold. I was born and raised in Northfield, Minnesota. I've been farming for 47 years. Pesticide runoff manifests itself in allichlor, acetochlor, atrazine. All of these things did not get to the waters except through runoff. And so I think if we can farm in a way that minimizes or eliminates runoff, the chemicals will stay put where they're intended to do their work.
Implementing best management practices, or BMPs, is important because it helps your farming system to function the best it can. Best management practices can help reduce erosion. They can also help filter water if it is moving off the farm. And also it can help improve soil health on the farm, which is also can have many benefits.
At the beginning of every season, I like to go out and scout the fields because our major problem is weeds at that time of the year. There's such a thing as being too busy to go out and scout. And so I depend on my agronomy supplier. All I have to do is call them and say, I need you to scout these fields and recommend any treatment that might be required.
I am Kevin Carlson. I'm a certified professional agronomist and agronomy sales manager for Federated Co-ops. So the different processes or types of scouting that we do for fields, we do some burn down scouting early in the season, taking a look at what weeds are there to do a burn down application. And then from there, we do a lot of in-season scouting for herbicide and insecticide recommendations while the crop's growing, both corn and soybeans alike.
I think scouting helps you to stay on top of the pests that might reduce your yield and your profitability.
Scouting fields benefit farmers from the standpoint of only making applications when necessary, following integrated pest management practices, only making herbicide applications when necessary, when it's warranted.
I recall when Roundup first hit the scene, it was going to take care of everything. And now we have tremendous amounts of Roundup resistant weeds. And so we need to use different modes of action, change the chemical work that happens in the field from year to year because the same chemical may not work 2 years in a row.
Another benefit of rotating site of action is very important for weed resistance management. Tank mixing or pre-mixing different sites of action has become more and more important today for maintaining site of action activity.
An irrigation water management plan is a plan that helps a farmer to determine how much, when, and at what time to apply water to a farm.
If you're applying too much, then you can actually lose nutrients. You can lose herbicides, pesticides by over-irrigating. Running an irrigation system costs money. Making sure that we're being as efficient as possible with those resources. So what we usually recommend people do is they reach out to their local soil and water district. It's a good place to start. They have resources for helping them develop that plan. There's some consultants that also do that sort of work that are qualified.
So one of our very popular applications today and recommendation is layering residuals. Start with a residual product early in the season and then come back again with that same product, give it another application to layer the residual and extend the residual for particularly resistant weeds like water hemp. We also tank mix different sites of action to get multiple sites of action for particularly water hemp. resistant weeds, and that's what we've been primarily going with.
I think BMPs allow you to use an appropriate amount of chemical, and they allow you to target the pests that you want to manage, and they also allow you to do so safely if you use the proper equipment and keep safety in the front of your brain. Herbicide best management practices.
Herbicide best management practices
Equals a commitment to water protection in Minnesota.
Equals a commitment to water protection in Minnesota.